One of the books we've got on display in the World of the Book exhibition is John James Audubon's Birds of America, and it's spectacular. It's one of the great treasures of the library's collection. It was published between 1827 and 1838, and it contains 435 very, very large engraved plates of American birds, all hand-coloured, and it's just a sumptuous item. The reason he used this very, very large format, which we call double elephant folio, is he wanted to actually produce the birds life size. And when we look at some of the water birds and this pelican on display here, we can see that they even now just barely fit on the page. Audubon issued the work in parts to subscribers. So you'd subscribe to the book, and each couple of months you would get 5 plates of birds, and you would continue to collect over the 11 years of the project. And at the end of that time, you would presumably have them bound by your binder, generally in about 4 volumes, which is what the library said is bound in. So this is 1 volume of 4 that we hold. Now this copy has a really interesting backstory. A few years back, a colleague of mine, Brian Hubber, started to investigate where this copy actually came from. We found an old card in the library's old card catalogue, and on the back of it, it said Barry, meaning Redmond Barry, the library's founder, offered Audubon for £200. He thinks it's too much. And then beneath that, it then said Barry bought for £100. So in 1871, this book, under Barry's tenure at the library, entered the library's collection. Now it turns out the book was actually owned by a gentleman by the name of William Stallard. And he had come out from London, where presumably he'd acquired the work, across to India, then to Tasmania, and eventually he settled in Victoria. He ran a number of private schools in Geelong and Ballarat, and he sold the book to the library in 1871, I suspect through financial hardship. Sadly, after that, William Stallard's life went downhill. He was dismissed from his teaching position in the early 1870s. He turned to drink, and we find a newspaper report in the local papers from 1882 telling us William Stallard committed suicide by drowning himself in the Yarra. So in a way, it's a sad end to a life which is linked to this book. But I find it kind of odd and strangely comforting in a way to think that we actually remember William Stallard for this book he once owned, which is literally seen by hundreds of thousands of people who visit this library each year to look at it.